Welcome back, guys, to my live playthrough of Control on its release day, the 27th of August 2019. Let's continue on. Part 3 of my playthrough. So far, it's just been amazing. Just been outstanding. Phenomenal. This new ability is just so Jedi that it's frightening. I just collected something else. So, the HISS Demolition Expert. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. HISS demolition experts are the only observed HISS variations to wield the special built rocket propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track entities once fired, making them a threat whose terminations should be prioritized in combat scenarios. So take this guy out first when you see him, basically. I find it remarkable that the HISS restrict usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel who train specifically for its use. What does this tell you about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still, too many unknowns. Refer to file for full report. Floppy disk. Containment procedure must be contained in a cell with no other loose materials. Description: Para utility. The object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. Jeez. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to telekinetically lift materials and throw it a short distance. See Dr. Darling's presentation 11.15 for more information. The object is currently bound for research purposes. Stolen from the Soviet military base located by agents and with the CIA, the diskette contained launch codes to missiles believed to be reserved for use against that's a small gap, so it looks like the USA, but never mind. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. An informant in the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and it was requisitioned by agents the next day. Exciting stuff.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom. Maybe there's a key nearby. This must open the door. They can fly now. Great.
This game is so cool. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm still learning slowly but surely, but it's so much fun to play as well. And because I've added all these really dynamic elements to them, I've been waiting for a game for a while that's got new dynamic elements to the combat and to the actual gameplay and the game mechanics. Very, very happy about this.
They can fly now. Great.
Man, it's so dynamic. You start finding that different objects have different explosive qualities, and you've got to take a different tactical approach in each little bit. So yeah, and they're ramping up the difficulty a little bit here, so this is good fun.
They can fly now. Great. have a feeling he'll be back.
Oh, that was tough. My palms are sweating. That was tricky. Yeah, because you can really lose a lot of energy. And then it's tough to get it back, but yeah. Did it in the end. So here we go. Field research on Hiss entity, Hiss elevated agent. Hiss elevated agents display abilities similar to telekinetic competencies observed in Bureau utilitarians. Some prefer to charge their targets while others launch objects at them. Telekinetic attacks have been ineffective against Hiss elevated due to their own talent in the area. They do not use any weaponry except their own paranatural capabilities. Some Hiss elevated have been seen levitating while strapped into chairs. This is likely the result of individuals being corrupted while undergoing cognitive recording in parapsychology. How are they able to use paranatural abilities? Is it possible that these individuals were bound to objects of power prior to corruption? It's also worth considering that the Hiss resonance can identify and express latent paranatural ability in the individuals it corrupts. Read the file for full report. Tea time. Hey Malcolm, yes, tea time is at 7. I'll see you at the course on Sunday morning. By the way, have you heard about this Tennyson report? Apparently there's a bunch of copies drifting around the office. Trench is looking to get his hands on any information about who wrote it. You wouldn't happen to have heard anything about that, would you? See you Sunday, Jim.
Let's stay focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
Butte summary. A spate of disappearances was traced to a home in the city of Butte. I think it's pronounced Butte. Where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Event response. Bureau agents arrived at the home of a local celebrity located at, which had been connected to a total of disappearances in the area. Agents found no one inside. While searching a closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord and disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord in order to replicate the event. He disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house a certain amount of days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord in the Butte home's closet disappeared during the incident, or this incident. Whew.
Alberto Tomasi, head of comms. The hiss got him.
All right, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but you can't blame that on some voice guns. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds in all of that inside? Good luck, huh? So much easier to... Are you still recording this?
The hotline can't be far now.
According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from the Butte home to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. See a file. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. The disappearance of the home's owner and the other locals of Butte have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View, or Ocean View, in that case I think it's a typo, motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Butte home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, something like cords have been found in the oldest house, located in and sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly this link operates is but initial hypothesis center on the Butte AWE as a something something. See Dr. Darling presentation 24.3 for more details.
Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord. The door marked with the black pyramid.
Oops. I thought some sort of magic floor was going to appear if I jumped out there. I don't know, you never know with these surreal scenarios. Let's continue on. This game is absolutely phenomenal.
been here before? No. I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
That was a cool puzzle. I just read the notice and it said the rule of 3 applies, so I just pulled it 3 times. This game's got a lot of cool subtle things like that and clever little puzzles, but they're very original. And like I said, I've read nothing about the details of this game. I went like media blackout on it because I knew I was going to want to play it. So I don't know. I'm just improvising. It might take me a while to solve some of the puzzles. But this one, I figured it out with the sign. That was good.
Hello? Anyone here?
Just look at those lighting effects. Very, very cool. Also, this is creepy as hell. It's like room 222. Oh man, this is great. The rule of 3 again. It's creepy. And in some of the texts we've been reading, the symbols have been mentioned as well, and I think I remember which ones to follow. Oh, this is creepy.
The key has a black pyramid on it.
Yep, the black pyramid that's mentioned in the text before. And that's where the guys that previously pulled the light switches mentioned that they had to like try to figure it out. It took them a while to figure out with lots of trial and error, and they finally figured out it was a black pyramid. The rule of 3 once again applied to the light switch. This is disturbing. what's genius about this kind of game structure and writing is that it's the implicit, subtle, and it's not just like patently obvious, but it doesn't have to be grotesque or over the top. It's just it's like psychological, dark realm that you have to navigate. It's all very internal and very, very well done.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
I have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily. People react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
It's got a very Hitchcockian vibe as well, and this whole symbolism with the phone, with the light switch, and the repetition of certain elements is very, very intelligent. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the old house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. In our budget demands, there are not if our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the US Treasury without question. The FBC is another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regards, Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control, the FBC. Federal Bureau of Control. Hotline. Objects should be inaccessible for use except for the director. Object is a 1960s era red Bakelite telephone. The rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs. The object allows the director to communicate with if used by anyone other than the director, the object will cause lethal. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.6 for more information. The object is currently bound to Director Trench. The object spontaneously manifested in the director's office, placed on the desk. Director Northmoor was the first known bureau agent to use it. A battery of tests were run on the object, including but its origin remains unknown.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms? The hiss? Sorry. You made it. I'm glad.
Emily? Let's talk.
Of course.
Analysis of Hiss Threat Part 1, confidential. Initial encounters with the entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss is able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA devices that Dr. Darling has been distributing over the past weeks was not affected by the corruption. The only known exception for this fact is the new director, Jess Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so in contrast to that of the other Hiss that I have dismissed the theory. The final observation comes from Miss Faden herself. She's able to cleanse material and organisms of the Hiss corruption. We tested this ability on a Hiss corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seemed to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiologically becomes reliant on the Hiss. More work to be done. Refer to another file.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the Hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
Singing. Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
Brings up a lot of new questions. Are they communicating? Coordinating? What about the planet tracking them?
The power plant is largely confidential. No use guessing at his motives if we don't even know what kind of energy he uses.
What? What do you mean? It has to be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create that kind of energy output. I heard the Hiss attacked the power plant. Brings up a lot of new questions. Are they communicating? Coordinating? What about the planet tractor that's...
The power plant is largely confidential. No use guessing at his motives if we don't even know what kind of energy he uses.
What do you mean? It has to be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create that kind of energy output.
Where's Marshall? Or Trench? How come no one's taking charge here?
Thine word, meet me in the maintenance.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
I remember seeing some interviews about the creation of this game, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the janitor's played by one of the creators of the game, who's a Finnish guy. I think he's from Finland. He's very, very funny, very cool guy. Yeah, so shout outs to Finland. I actually studied in Finland for a part of my career when I was younger. I went to a city called Oulu in the north of Finland and
The
studied
maintenance
media
sector is the janitor
media
domain.
studies there.
If I can
Very,
find
very
Ati
cool.
here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ati. It felt like he made the elevator appear that took me to Trench's office. Is Ahti guiding me too?
I have some fond memories of Finland for sure. I had a friend called Antti, which is very similar to this name. But yeah, very cool. And this game is amazing. Incredible. Fantastic.
The directorial override is right there, in the control room. How do we get there? What's down that way?
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
He's absolutely fantastic. He's swearing in Finnish as well. He's saying perkele and stuff like that. Those swear words, because I went to Finland as a foreigner, and like the first thing you learn, obviously, in any foreign language is the swear words. I don't remember much Finnish, to be honest with you. I did a course, but I remember how to count to 5. I think it's uksi, kaksi, kolmi, neljä, viisi, but I'm not sure. I might just be inventing that. Sounds right, but anyway. But yeah, Finnish swearing between these sentences are really funny. What a character.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Explosion. Too much. Director's duty. Keep the lights on.
are you new? Go talk with Chief Arish in the security booth. He's in charge here.
Chief Arish, FBC Security.
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
Try to stay alive.
We need those pumps and converters online.
She knows. She knows.
I just wanted to make sure.
Hey Simon, I got your message. Yeah, if someone in the sector's asking about Auntie, just tell him you'll handle it and leave it at that. Under no circumstances should any personnel intervene with his day-to-day routine. I told you everything I know about him so you could better deal with his odd habits. But yes, it's still very much a classified matter. Also, I saw your report about the quarry worker who wandered into the Foundation. Detaining him was the right move. We'll figure out what he saw before we decide on next steps. Cheers, Lynn. P.S. In case you hadn't noticed, something is up between Trench and Darling. I know this isn't your strong suit, but try your best to stay out of it. Arish escaped OP. An object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple of weeks ago, and they want everyone to keep an eye out for it. So if anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on your own, and definitely don't bind it to yourself. Your security chief, Simon Arish.
bridges and pipes C through F. Where's the clock back? Now. Oh man, Adi is gonna be so pissed.
New weapons, this is cool. So let's see. Switch. Jesus, it's like a mini shotgun, like a hand shotgun. Wow, it's got lots of recoil, but you can modify that. Nice. Oh well. I jumped back there to defend myself and just went into the abyss. This is so crazy, it's really cool. So there's some new enemies now that explode on impact. Awesome. New weapons, new enemies. New twists in the plot. This is one of the best stories I've had in a game for a while as well.
Dr. Faden.
Power cut. Replace the parts. It's fried up. You need to fix it before the old twig maps inside the plant has a shit fit.
Let's fix the pumps and water flow.
Next game is Wednesday at 8, usual spot. Hazard owes me $20. Irish still on a fucking winning streak. Someone please figure out how he's cheating. Thompson suspended for a game because of that shady dealing incident. Guy, I owe you $60. I brought beers last time, so it's Hepstenstall's turn. Remus. By the way, the whole red and black thing is so awesome. Red is one of my favourite colours. This graphic, the loading screen graphic, just works so well. And it goes with the whole psychological element of it. It's like an ink blot test. It's just so cool.
Hold together a little longer. Ugh, this place makes me nauseous. An object of power. How do you think it got down here? A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy? Let's see the hiss keep up with me now.
More abilities, very, very cool. I love how you can just like disappear from one area to another, just falling through the floor. It's like a dream, surreal dream. I'm gonna have some weird dreams after playing this game for sure.
Drawing the pyramid.
The what?
The pyramid.
What's a pyramid?
The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane.
Airplane?
Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty. Or is it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all that white and never find your way back home.
I miss my home.
That was the fucked uppest thing I've ever seen. Oh man.
the trash. Throw it in the fire. Burn it all. Burn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me on my stream. It's the third part of my stream for Control on its launch day, on the day of release, 27th of August 2019. This game is unbelievably cool. Please jump in and play as well. It's just incredible. I highly recommend it. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next part of the stream. I'm going to stream through the whole game, so join me soon. Thank you, guys.